Mushroom lo mein is a great dish to warm you up on a cold winter day. Hi, I'm Jonathan Ammons and welcome to the Ingles table. Today I'm going to show you how to make this traditional favorite using ingredients from my very own Ingles. To get started, we've got a nice hot pan. I'm going to throw some oil in there. Most Chinese food doesn't use olive oil. You'll typically want to use like a peanut oil or vegetable oil, but if olive oil is all you have, that's what you have. In fact, we're kind of making this dish today in a way that isn't quite traditional. It's more that kind of takeout classic. So instead of ordering your takeout, you can just make it at home. So in with some onions. Onions take a while to really get where you want them to get, typically. We're going to be doing them over a really high heat because you'll notice I'm not using a wok. Typically when you're making Chinese food, you cook it in a wok. Well, most of our home kitchens don't have stoves that get as hot as those wok burners because they're butane burners that just crank out all these BTUs and it just gets super hot in most woks. Our traditional home burners don't get that high. So you want to crank this up. You're going to want it running around like high to medium high heat because this is going to go really quick. On these portable burners, it takes a little while longer. So in your home burner, it might go a little quicker. If you have a gas burner, it might work a little better. But I don't recommend using a wok for this. I actually recommend using a frying pan, or if you have a cast iron skillet. Those cast iron skillets retain heat really well, and they really allow you to really sear what you're doing in these pans. You're going to want these onions to get pretty translucent and almost blackened on the edges. All right, our onions are starting to clarify now. You can see how they're getting limp and kind of clear. That's a good time for you to throw in some of your garlic. And really, everything else can go in about this time. I'm using, at Ingles, they have a wide selection of mushrooms to choose from. It's important to know how to cook those mushrooms. I'm using baby bella mushrooms. They are going to not have a high water content, so they're going to soak up oil. If you use white button mushrooms, you're going to want to, there's going to be a lot of water leakage from a button mushroom. Baby bells, they soak up a bit more oil, so you're going to want to add a little more oil to the pan. And add each ingredient. You can add these really in any order because at this point we're just stir frying. We're just getting the pan nice and hot. We're adding a good bit of vegetable. So we've got bell pepper, we've got carrots in there at this point. Those are the things that take the longest to cook. So you're going to want to let those get in there and soften up. Some snow peas. All of this is available right in the produce aisle at Ingles. It's really accessible. It's really easy to get your hands on. So ideally you'd use lo mein noodles. Most of the time when I want lo mein, I don't have lo mein noodles. And a good friend of mine based in London, she's from Hong Kong, I was like, is it okay to substitute spaghetti for this? And she was like, oh yeah, I do that all the time. So feel free. I mean, in the international aisle, you can easily grab spaghetti or lo mein noodles at Ingles, but you can also just use spaghetti. So we've got some spaghetti that I cooked earlier. I'm gonna toss that right in. And now here's the thing. In the international aisle, you will find fish sauce. Do not be afraid of fish sauce. If you get any kind of Chinese takeout food, it usually is an equal parts mix of fish sauce and soy sauce. So that's what I've done here. I've just mixed equal parts fish sauce and soy sauce. And I'm going to pour a little bit of that in here. And it's going to coat everything really nice. And there you have it. Thanks so much for joining me here at the Ingles table. Make sure to explore the site for more great tips, tricks, and recipes. See you next time.